Hello and welcome to Squashwarp episode 32. I am Luke, and today I believe what we're mostly going to be doing is improving our space stations, but right now I'm in process of transferring a tank. I didn't bother launching the Vampire ISRU for the umpteenth time, refueling this tanker, getting it into orbit at Kerbin and all that, but I'll record the tail end of it. We're going to refuel the Aboleth spacecraft. But then we have some other launches to do. We're also going to bring the lander to Minmus and maybe land on Minmus. So let's find out. But I'm going to fast forward through this docking, and I'll see you in a second. So I had a very careful approach because I really honestly wasn't sure that I remembered how to do these rendezvous and docking. So I'm being rather careful, but we're coming in for a docking, regardless of my doubts. And then we're gonna probably launch a spacecraft next. So let's actually arrive. We can approach faster. I'm sorry that I've forgotten what I'm doing. I will remember. We'll get back into the swing of things. One of the things we're launching is an extension to the spacecraft, because I think it's a little bit less capable than I want it to be. Okay. I will transfer fuel, and then I will meet you for the next thing. So the next space plane will be ready only seconds or minutes away from when the new Minmus lander arrives at Minmus. So I'm going to do this mission first before we launch that space plane. So we're going to the Dryad space station. See you there. Well, we're doing like a handbrake turn here. Like it's almost a 90-degree change in our orbit inclination. So let's see what happens. I'm just going to kind of guesstimate. I feel like we've got a lot of thrust on this thing. So I'm going to quick save, and we're going to fly in and meet the space station. Here we go. Minmus is so small, orbital maneuvers are so easy. Okay, but the thing is, I don't think this thing, even though it has fuel on it that we could share to this, like, there's no way to do that. Oh no, there's a way. Okay, all right, stand by. We're gonna do some docking. I'm just in the habit of fast forwarding these because then I don't feel a pressure to figure out how to say interesting things while I'm also concentrating. So fast forward docking situation. Yeah, I'm kind of out of practice, but we're making it happen. It wasn't really worth the amount of fuel that we got, but I got some docking practice in, which is probably a good thing. And almost done with this, and then we can get rid of the stage that brought the lander here. Well, not good enough. Yeah, not my best docking. That's okay. Switch to this. Turn orbit retrograde. Power up. I don't know why we're spinning, but our periapse is in the planet, so let's just switch away. We don't need to watch that crash. Now, let's get to daytime so that things are a little bit more bright and cheerful. I said let's get to the daytime. Come on. Any second now. There it is. Okay. We have a contract to do a materials study at Dryad, so I'm going to do that. We're going to keep that, and then Hadrid might as well be the one. Transfer crew. Hadrid, can you go on EVA? EVA. Collect data. Store experiments. Board. Transfer back to the cupola so you're comfy. So hopefully we'll someday recover that to Kerbin and satisfy the contract. In the meanwhile, let's clean experiments. And let's see if we can transmit science. Oh, 424. Oh, we better transmit science. Let's make sure that we're not going to run out of electric charge. Transmit science. Ooh, so close. Oh, we just barely made it. Okay. All right. Well, now we really need to unlock something. That was a lot of science. I mean, we're only getting 40% of it. Okay. Data's pretty full. We can fit a little bit more in. Will it fit 75? I'm so bad at telling this. Yeah, I think so. Process. Keep. That won't fit. Keep. That won't fit. Will that fit? 38? Nope. I don't think I have anything that's just like 10 data, so I'm just going to keep everything. Maybe I did, but this is fine. We're researching at a rate of 10.8 science per day, which is excellent. Now, what would be even better, if we look at our Kerbals, where did we get this indication? Oh, we need to be targeting the ship. Let's add a maneuver. Focus on vessel. I'm so glad that Precise Node has that functionality. Okay, now we can see our Kerbals. So Joffrey Kerman is a level 2 scientist, but Gilvin isn't. So, if we land on Minmus, with Gilvin, maybe she will be. Wrong button. Minmus's Flats or Minmus's Great Flats are the places we haven't been yet. Let's find those. We want to look at them at Minmus. We want to turn off resources. Those are the Great Flats. And these are the Greater Flats. Is that really the ones? Because those seemed like the most obvious places to go. Flats and Great Flats. Great Flats. Lesser Flats. Lesser Flats. Where's the Flats? Those are the Great Flats. Those are the Greater Flats. Those are the Lesser Flats. Those are also Lesser Flats. Minmus? You've got a lot of flats, but where are the basic ones? Well, I can't see with that. Maybe if I change the projection, can I find them on a polar orbit? There's the poles. Great Flats. Stand by. I had to look it up, but they're here. They're very small. It's just this little one right like that. Which I think are on the dark side right now, but that's okay. We can land in the dark. I forget whether the blue is the future or the gold is the future. Are we going up or down right now? We're going up, so gold is the past, blue is the future. So we're perfectly aligned to land in the Great Flats. So let's do it. Quick save. And then Gilvin is the one who needs to go. I could have sworn Gilvin has gone to land on Minmus, but whatever. Gilvin, transfer to the lander. And then lander... Whoops. Come back. Lander... One of these undock. Undock. Back up. Let's deploy the solar panels. I love the reflection of green silver Minmus on our the side of our craft. Deploy the landing legs. Let's point orbit retrograde and let's thrust to the side so that we can not run into ourselves. And let's bring up... I'm going to just fully use my tools here. Let's show engineer landing. And activate the engines. Are they shut down? What's going on? Oh, the thrust limiter is at 0, so I couldn't accidentally do something wrong. So we're going to come in for a landing. And the idea is to get a landing in the Greater Flats. Right now we're landing in the lowlands. Okay, that's too much. So let's prograde. Let's not land so much. Let's not land so early. I think the Greater Flats are on the opposite side of the orbit from me. So, let's bring up this. They're just before the periaps. So let's say that's good. Let's turn off ScanSat. And I'm going to just go here. Try not to crash into anything. And see if I can see what I'm doing. From here, we still want to be orbit retrograde. I want to be in free camera. That will make things easier. Let's flip over. And fly over this mountain. And then this should be the Greater Flats right here. So let's throttle up. I mean, yeah, I think we're going to the Greater Flats. This was said, yeah, Great Flats. That's the word I'm looking for. Great, not greater. Show the thing. And then let's try using the suicide burn counter, and we'll see if that actually works. Go on in. We've got 2.5 minutes. We want to be in surface retrograde. That's important. Where's my landing prediction? There it is. Well, Gilvin, if you haven't been to Minmus yet, you will be now. I don't think we need that. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. No shadow, so I'm not exactly sure where I'm landing, but this looks pretty good. Okay, we hit a little hard, but I think we're fine. Barely used any of our fuel, because this thing is spec'd to land on the moon. Turn off landing, turn off Kerbal Engineer. Now I'm going to do science, but like you've seen me do that in the past, so I'm not going to make you watch that, but I'm going to do all the science experiments, and then we will, I'll catch back up with you when we go back. Gilvin is happy to be on Minmus, even though it's in the dark. Almost done with science. I'm just trying to get back in. Okay, there we go. Okay, we have 8 science in that container, 8 science in that container, only 7 science in this container. What has gone wrong? Stand by. Oh, I know why. I know why. It's because, alright, EVA, take data, board. Now there's 8. 8. Alright. Now we go back to space. It's a short visit. Launch due south. We have no battery power whatsoever. Well, let's quick save, and let's see if I get battery power when I turn on the engines. Well, that apoapsis is too high, but that's okay. No, we did not get battery power from the engines, but thankfully Gilvin can manually control the ship. Let's warp to the apoapsis and then attempt to get into orbit. Lesson learned, don't... Oh, right, we don't even have any attitude control, so give it a little bit... You know what, actually, turn on RCS. Do we have any rotation ability with RCS? They're on the center of mass, so we might not have that. There we go. We just don't have a lot of rotation. Yeah. We can't front and back rotate very well with RCS because they're aligned on the center of mass. Alright. Throttle up. Okay, now we're in a stable orbit. We're gonna be fine. Let's just time accelerate until we get in the sun. I could have just waited until the sun rose on Minmus, but I'm being efficient and lazy. There we go. Electric charge is full. Now we can put on SAS and we can plot a rendezvous. Set that as target. Stand by. What is happening? Why am I spinning out of control? This is a problem. I've got a Kerbal. I've got signal. I've got electric charge. I should have SAS. Why am I spinning? I shouldn't be spinning. Oh, that is weird. Let's switch to something and then switch back. Okay, there we go. Now my SAS is working. I thought I had maneuver holds. That was so strange. Okay, we're going to do orbit prograde. And we're going to do the maneuver. I'm going to fast forward through these orbital maneuvers. Now that things are not insane. See you soon. All right, docking. I think this works this time. There we go. Everybody's back. Now, did we level up? That's an important question. Let's go to the sun, just so that we can ask our questions with some illumination. Okay. Level up crew. Recorded Gilvin Kerman's experience, but I don't think she's level 2. I think she has to go to the moon to be level 2, so maybe Gilvin has already gone to the moon. I don't know. You know, I think maybe it actually tells me. I could have just looked. It says orbit around Kerbin, orbit around Minmus. But it doesn't say landed on Minmus. Well, that's not correct. Yeah, Joffrey has orbited the moon. I thought you get more XP for landing on things. You know what? We'll never know. So let's do some sciencing. What we need to do is, well, one thing we can do real quick is review stored data. We can keep that, but we can transmit the things that we get 100% science for transmitting. Then we can EVA, take this data and store the experiments. Then I forget how this works exactly, but we'll take this data. Oh, shoot! Alright, well, I'm gonna reload. I pressed the wrong button. We don't even need that, but I like how it looks. And I don't want to have done that. I was just not remembering how to control my Kerbal. Stand by. Oh no, I hit quick save. Oh, I'm so bad at this game now. Alright, Dryad has lost its radiator and there's nothing I can do. Well, I can repair it with a repair kit. But the good news is we don't actually need radiator on this spacecraft, so... Darn it! Alright, store experiments. Okay, so we've stored experiments in here, and in there. Oh god, how do I control this? Okay, maybe I should retract the solar panels. I'm not going to, though. I can do it, I can do it. I've been playing so much Subnautica, that may be what it is. Take data. I'm trying to control my character the way you control a character in Subnautica, and it doesn't work that way. Alright. Board, F, grab, board. Alright, well, sorry mission control. We have caused a problem. I need a repair kit at some point. Well, heck. What was I even doing? We didn't level up. We can't fit any more research, but there's only one biome left to go to. So that is a good step in the right direction. So, accepting the consequences of my bad button presses, we will move on. One thing we need to double check is how much life support we have here. 171 days. So we're doing just fine. All right. Let's check on the other labs. I will check on the other labs without you having to watch. I'll catch up with you in a minute. The problem with Gilvin is she's never planted a flag on Minmus. So that could be the issue. Anyway, I got a bunch of science from my laboratory, so let's take a look at the science. Okay, with 1169 science, we can actually get 2 tech nodes. But I am starting to make stupid mistakes, so I think I'm going to take a break before I make this decision. But things that we're thinking about: improved nuclear power gives us better reactors. Very heavy rocketry and high-performance fuel will let us build large rockets, but I don't know that I'm needing that yet. Nano-lathing gets us a bunch of sort of girder sections. The only thing I really need here is actually this Tundra Mobile Workshop and the Ranger Inflatable Workshop are important MKS colonization parts, but I don't know if I need those yet either. The rest of these are not that critical. Ion propulsion could be interesting, but I don't have any specific plans for interplanetary missions that need ion engines anytime soon. Better probe core, nothing wrong with that, but batteries, RTGs, advanced solar panels, advanced radiators. I'm not desperate for any of these things. I will need them eventually, but I just don't know which ones I want first. Anyway, I'm going to take a break and come back and think about it. We're not all the way through the episode, though. See you shortly. All right, I went away, had a break, made some coffee. You know you need coffee when making the coffee feels like rocket science. But back to what I was doing, R&D. I think I have decided that, whether it's a good idea or not, I'm going to go ahead and get the very heavy rocketry and high-performance fuel systems. Specifically because in all my time with KSP, I don't know when I have ever built 3 and 5 meter rockets, so I don't even know what I might do with them. So let's just get it built, and then the option exists, because I don't critically need anything else that I'm aware of. So yeah, let's get those started, and then we've got a launch to do. See you in a second. I don't remember what this spacecraft was for. It's called Life Support Upgrade, so I assume I'm bringing supplies to the space station. I'm clearly bringing space tugs. I've got a capsule for some reason. I don't know what the capsule is for. It's not a Griffin capsule. Are there supposed to be Kerbals on it? Maybe I was supposed to put Kerbals on this capsule. I don't know, but I'm just going to launch and see. However, something's wrong with my staging, so let's not stage. Let's just be very careful. Also, somehow we've gotten completely sideways on the runway. Wish me luck with this flight, because apparently I'm still struggling. Let's do our best. Engines on should be 0. Yep. Okay, here we go. Alright, well, some flaws with this docking and rendezvous. For one thing, this model of the spaceplane is still missing the RCS packs on one side. I thought I had fixed that, but I guess this one was designed and built before I had fixed that. And then what was the other problem that we had? I can't remember now. We had another technical issue. Oh yeah, it was that I came in too fast and didn't slow down in time. Alright, more docking needs to be done. I gotta move this stuff over here. I think I want to put the extra life support on the end of the inflatable module. And then the tugs don't all need to be here, but the tugs can go on the docking node with the tugs eventually. And then I guess this is just going to be an emergency escape capsule, because I have no idea why I put this in here. Like, it's too long ago. It's just a mistake. So it's just going to fill up a docking port. All right, I'm going to reshuffle. For some reason, there's no monopropellant in the spacecraft, so I've got to go rescue it. But the tug is blocked, so I have more reshuffling to do than I thought I did. Stand by. Okay, so I didn't even put any probe control on that capsule. So Bilming has to quickly fly over, get in the capsule to rescue it. I don't know. I don't know. Soon I won't be launching anything that I built 4 months ago, and will just be back to things that I built recently. And hopefully the chaos will... Oh god, hopefully the chaos will reduce. Although I still am having trouble controlling the Kerbals because I still am trying to go up with space instead of shift because I was playing Subnautica. Board. Okay. Control from here. Alright, let's get pointed. Pointed the right way. Good. RCS on. What? Is there no RCS on this thing? I thought there was built-in RCS in the capsules. Do they not have that? Oh, there it is. RCS enabled. RCS is enabled. Actuation toggles. Fore aft is on. Well, I can't dock with this thing. Because I can't go backwards. Oh, no, I can. I can dock. Okay, hang on. Turn RCS off. Point north. And activate this engine. There we go. Now, get pointed the right way again. I just have to do it without fore and aft RCS. Oh my god. Okay. I can translate, though. So that's good. Let's retract the solar panels again, because this is going to be a questionable docking, just like the last several dockings have been. Yeah, this craft is only good for deorbiting. There's really nothing else to it. It can't even do docking maneuvers. So once we dock it here, it's kind of permanently stuck here, which is unfortunate because I kind of wanted to use this docking port for something else. It's okay. Alright, almost lined up. Sorry to make you watch this. Alright. We're almost done. What a mess. Thank you, Bilming, for saving this stupid mission. Transfer Bilming back in there. Now, we've got an insane amount of supplies. We've got way more space tugs than we need. Now we can transfer some fuel. Let me see what is going on with this. This is mostly liquid fuel. These are empty. These are empty. Okay. So let's just put fuel in here. Oxidizer in here. And oxidizer in here. Okay, but are there any places where we need liquid fuel? Yeah, apparently. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna fiddle with transfer stuff. Stand by. Okay, I've transferred things. Now we're gonna take this plane home as best we can. Undock. And switch to the plane with a little bit. We don't have any solar power, do we? I know I put a probe core on this. I know I put a probe core. Come on. Come on. I don't want to time warp because we'll go inside the other ship. Everything is going wrong today. There we go. We got everything we needed. Back up. Switch to this. Deploy the solar panels that we've been without. And then we get our power back. Make sure that the lab is running. Researching. Okay, good. Okay, we're going home. Fast forward. I deployed the chute manually because I couldn't figure out what was going on with the staging. What is this decoupler? I'll never know. Anyway, we safely made it back. I'm excited for whatever comes next because I think it's a more recent design. Or a more reliable one, anyway. But we managed to expand the space station just in a very weird way. Carry on. Okay, I've reshuffled some things. The next thing is high-performance fuel systems. Is that really what's next? No, the Duna habitat has a maneuver coming up. Let's perform that. This is the Duna habitat with the design flaw where these two agroponics things are not going to be nearly sufficient to actually feed everybody. This is just fertilizer, which means we're depending on these turning them into supplies, which they don't do at a fast enough rate. Whereas if we just made this supplies, we would have gotten more habitation time. Anyway, so we might end up not using this much. But that said, I'm still going to perform the maneuver that we have planned. So let's get pointed and let's do it. I'm going to call that good. It's very sensitive. We're going to have an Ike encounter on the edge of Ike's sphere of influence that'll swing us around. I think we've got plenty of Delta V, so I'm not too worried about getting this precise. Let's save that. Let's turn prograde so that our antenna or our solar panels will be in a good spot. Let's add an alarm for the sphere of influence change, which will be in 126 days. Okay. And then just roll so we always get solar panel coverage. All right. All right. Good luck, Hab. I'm sorry we under-designed you. Now what's next? Now, easy 5G relay to Moho, 2 days. Okay, so we're launching the relay to Moho in 2 days. That's what's next. All right, let's do that. Okay, the Moho alarm was off, so we don't actually need to do that. I think I'm going to remember to do the Moho mission. So now we have to do the rescue mission, needs to do a correction burn. The one that's sending more life support materials to the spacecraft that's going to Eve. Where is it? There it is. Rescue. Switch to. Oh, it's not a maneuver. It's the encounter. 1 day, 3 hours. 1 day, 4 hours. Okay, we're going to save. I'm going to fast forward time. I'll meet you when something happens. This is saying we don't have the Delta V, but this is saying we do. Oh, God. I hope we have the Delta V, or we're going to have to send a rescue mission for the rescue mission. I don't know. I just don't know. All right, let's try it. High performance fuel systems is complete. Intercept in 53 minutes. Doesn't look like that's when the intercept is. The lines are fooling me. Their distance is still a million meters. They're still 1,000 kilometers away. We're supposed to be within half a kilometer coming up. All right, save, and I'm just gonna eyeball it because I'm not getting it's not very precise here. What does it say now? 12 minutes. Okay. 3 minutes. And it said the burn was going to take 51 seconds. So we want to be in target retrograde. And I'm going to start burning at 35 seconds. If I can guess about when that is. One minute. 30 seconds. So maybe about here. $51. And I'm gonna go now. Worried that my delta V is going down faster than my velocity. Something is not reading right in the delta V readout. Oh no, this could all be doomed. Yeah, the delta V readout was wrong. We don't actually have the delta V to do this. We're gonna have to do it with the spacecraft. Okay. Give me the thing. Questing night. Switch to. It's going to cost us some maneuvers. But I think it'll be worth it. Set as target. Target retrograde. RCS on. There it goes. I don't know why my delta V readout was wrong. Okay. With the full power of the Questing Night spacecraft, though, we're going to be able to do this. It's just that then we've messed up our Eve encounter, and we have to re-encounter Eve. And we're using Delta V that we wanted to save. Okay. Used a bunch of monopropellant too, but that's okay. 3 kilometers away. Let's get to 15 meters per second approach. Good. Target retrograde. It's going to take us a while to turn around. Okay, how soon to intercept now? Will it show me? 3 minutes. Okay, while we're doing that, we need to move this. Because this is the docking node where that's going to go. Why is it? What is it doing? Why is it rotating? Okay, like this. What is it doing? Okay, stand by. Okay, don't move. Get aligned. Okay, we're moving this one. Okay. Now I'm going to have to dock the whole spacecraft to the rescue. So I will speed this up from here. So fast forward time. All right, we did it. We have more life support than we did. But the question is, will we start gaining more life support, or are we going to keep losing it? All right, now I got to quick save this. Now, let's try resupplying monopropellant. Yeah, give me a second. Okay, this transfer craft has no fuel, no monopropellant. I transferred it all in. So there's no reason to keep it around. So let's save and then let's jettison this. Undock. Okay, we're backing away. Now I think we can just leave the lander right there. I don't think the asymmetric mass is actually going to be that big of a deal. Let's find out. Now we need to plot a correction burn to get us heading back to Eve, because we messed up our Eve encounter. Stand by. Okay, this is interesting. I've made it so that there's an Eve periapse of 100 kilometers that matches the ascending node with Gilly. It's a 14-degree inclination, but that doesn't matter because we can change the inclination out at Gilly's orbit where that won't be a big difference. My only concern is, am I going the right way? Like, that's Eve escape, so yes? I think that's right. Let's perform this burn and see if this is in fact correct. Okay, I think I did it. We're coming in 100 kilometers. Eve escape is on the correct side. So I think we've done it, and we're leaving the probe thing out there. That's fine. Let's mess with our alarms now. Point prograde, since we're basically pointing prograde anyway. Now, I think we had an alarm for our arrival. Did we? No, we didn't. So, add a sphere of influence alarm. Questing night, IPM station, 93 days. When is Archmage? Oh, actually, we're going to get to Eve before we get to Duna. Interesting. Quite a bit before. Okay. Okay, we've resupplied. This was my first interplanetary rendezvous. I've never done that before. So I don't know why my Delta V readout was wrong. Who knows? We've done it. And hopefully we should be seeing an increase in supplies, but we won't know for some time. It says 7 days, 0 hours. So next time we check in, if it's more than 7 days, then we are earning supplies. If it's less than 7 days, we are losing supplies. And if it's exactly 7 again, it means that we're replacing the supplies exactly. So we'll find out. Let me see if there's anything else that we can fit in today. So I guess this thing functions as a relay, but like, Well, no, it doesn't, because it doesn't have a relay antenna. It must have a probe core. Yeah, there it is. It's in there. It has a probe core, and it has power, but it has no fuel, no oxidizer, no monopropellant, and it's not a relay. So I'm going to relabel this as trash and move on. For a final thing today, we're going to launch the Owlbear again. We're going to Manticore Station to do an expansion of the station's capabilities. And this time, Samney Kerman, our engineer, is taking 3 tourists with her up to the station so we can bring them on their tourist mission to visit the station. And so that means we can look inside if we want to. This might be disorienting, though. We'll see. Alright, see you up there. Okay, we're coming in. Relatively painless launch and intercept. Got a decent amount of Delta V left. Just trying to get this last few hundred meters. So, once we arrive, I'll fast forward the docking, but this is an expansion part for the space station, so we've got to attach in a specific place, and I think there's a ship docked there. So, I need to do some reshuffling, which I will do in fast forward time, and then we can get this docked. And then we can get the plane docked. It's a whole thing. So, I always feel like I should put on Kevin MacLeod in the background, but all the good Kevin MacLeod music is already in the game anyway. So we'll just do a silent, sped up docking in just a second. Here we go. Okay. Docking reshuffling complete. Starting to look more and more like a space station. Not that it wasn't already. Let's get into the sun and do the next step. Okay. Beautiful. All right. Quick save. So this piece is an experiment. It's an orbital construction facility from Modular Colonization Systems. So the first question, we brought up a bunch of material kits in here. So the first question is, can we extend this? Deposit resources. There it is. KS whatever has been deployed. Okay. Do we still have enough resources, and do we have the room to deploy the centrifuge? Inflate. Looks like we do. And it's just barely going to clear. Gonna have to be careful. This docking node is not necessarily long enough, but it was what fit in the cargo bay, so we have to be careful when we come in for a docking. But that functions. Let's start habitat and start rotation. Might as well. Now the space station inhabitants can have a centrifuge. The life support on this thing is now going to be insane. You know, we've got over a year of life support, over a year of habitation. Yeah, we're doing good. And we can get through all of these things. So, we probably used up most of our material kits. Yeah, most of them are gone. We brought our tourists up here. We need to move one of our Kerbals. I forget who it was. Samney needs to transfer into here. Can he not do that? Well, then transfer into the habitat for now. Then I thought you had to put them in the inside it. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But anyway, he's moved into the space station. If I press Open Constructor, I can now select a ship to build. And I can build the next ISRU. And it will tell me what I need. And I've already loaded this up in a test save so I could figure out what it was. But this is a very expensive craft. I need all of these things, and I don't have any of these things. So I cannot build it. And these are hugely expensive. But it's a worthy investment to start trying to learn how to build stuff in orbit. So Manticore Space Station now has a shipyard. But we have to ship expensive materials up into space in order for it to be able to do that construction. And I'm going to artificially create a calendar event for it so that it doesn't instantly construct things, because that doesn't seem to fit with my theme going on here. All right. I'm just going to stay in orbit until the tourists are happy. This is suddenly a massive space station. Look at this. I'm going to stay in space until the tourists have been here long enough, and then we're just going to send the spacecraft home. Minus the engineer, because we need an engineer to do the fabricator. I thought. Maybe we don't, but I'll just say that we do, even if we don't. Okay, I skipped ahead. The tourists are now happy. We just have to recover them. I'm going to fast forward through that. So I did that whole descent with my control surfaces turned off, and then when they turned back on, I knocked out all my tourists, so hopefully there's no penalty in the contract. I also completely overshot the Space Center again, but I feel like part of that was because I wasn't steering. Anyway, we'll fly back. I'll cut it out. And now we're out of fuel, so I will glide it in, and we'll do a water landing. Not that aggressively, though. What? What? Oh, we ran out of electric charge at a critical moment. Well, that could have been much worse. We crashed, but Rarim, Jensby, and Luhat are all okay. And yeah, we just lose the wings. We don't recover the wings, but yeah, loss of control at a critical moment. Battery failure. Just goes to show maybe we need some other source of power, or just bigger batteries. Anyway, thankfully we were splashing down instead of trying to land on hard ground. They survived, we recover. Anyway, that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for joining me. Next time we have more things to launch into to the space station and to Aboleth, I think. And then we've got some tourism to do and some crew to send up to the Aboleth space station. So thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.